This story was submitted by Delta 412. We're going to call him Dean. Dean was around 4 years old when his parents bought this old 1970s RV. They decided to take Dean and his older brother Pat out on a camping trip. And Dean doesn't remember a whole lot about the beginning of that trip until that night. He remembers sitting around a campfire that night trying to make hot dogs and s'mores with his family, but the marshmallows were always so hot and they seemed to burn his hands every time. And it starts getting dark and everyone's tired, so they all head into the RV for the night. And Dean is still small enough that his mom lets him share the bed with her. And she tries to get some sleep, but as the night goes on, she finds herself awake, tossing and turning, and just feeling kind of off. So Dean's mom is awake when something starts to shake and bang and pound on the RV. And his mom, feeling pretty freaked, grabs Dean tight. At first, she thinks it's a bear or something, but whatever it is, hops up onto the rooftop and tries to get in the RV using the emergency exit on the ceiling. And his mom tries to wake his brother Pat and their dad, but they seem to be long passed out. Not even all of the banging and the shaking is waking them up. Pat actually does wake up for about a second, lifts his head up, says, "What's going on?" and then immediately falls back to sleep again. And Mom is nearly in tears with fear. And she grabs her prayer book and starts praying. And Dean, well, he's sitting there calm in his mother's arms as whatever it is outside is wrecking the hell out of the camper. And he wants to look out the curtains to see what it is, but his mom stops him. But in the process, she catches a glimpse of something like a dinosaur on 2 legs. And as Mom begins to pray more and more, it seems to anger the creature outside, which just goes crazy. And throughout the night, Mom also notices that Dad seems to occasionally stop breathing. So she is waking him every few minutes just for a second to make sure that he's still breathing. And she wonders, what kind of creature has the strength to keep up this constant bombardment of the camper for hours? Mom reads from her prayer book all night and watches the sun start to rise as the blue sky begins to light up. But even in pale sunlight, the creature relentlessly persists in its attack. And Pat finally shakes awake, and he kind of groggily gets up wondering what the hell is going on. And about 5 minutes later, the attack subsides. And after the banging stops, Pat wants to go outside and get the tennis shoes that he left out there, even though he had just been woken up by some psychopath attacking their camper. Mom pleads with him to not go outside, but I guess you can't keep some teenagers from their Vans shoes. So Pat ducks out the door and in a few seconds miraculously makes it back inside the camper with his shoes. And he tells them he sees weird footprints all around the camper and claw marks everywhere. And that's when Mom knows this was no ghost. This was a physical manifestation of something evil. And Dad woke up soon after, like nothing had ever happened. He basically slept through the whole thing. Dad didn't even believe in an afterlife back then, even though he went to church every Sunday. And everyone pours out of the camper to take a look at the damage, even though Mom tries to keep Dean inside for fear that this creature might come back. And it's full morning now, and the other campers are wondering what the hell is going on as well. They all see the damage that this creature has done, as well as footprints on the ground of a 3-toed beast and claw marks inches deep into the thin camper skin. Mom wastes no time and urges Dad to get them out of there fast. So they pack up the RV and head out. And as they're heading out, the police are coming in. Why? Don't know. But Mom thinks it's because of the ruckus that creature made all night long. What took them so long? Anyway, Dean's parents sold the camper soon after. And even after seeing the evidence of this creature, Dad and Pat, they just kind of blow it off and forget the whole thing. But Dean and his mom will never forget, as that was perhaps the scariest night of their entire lives. Mom thinks the campsite was maybe located on a Native American burial ground where the soil had gone sour. Or maybe they were just trespassing on a place that the spirits didn't want them to be. But whatever the case, something was definitely physically there, flesh and bone. And it was something from a completely different world.